Hi there, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. As you join, if you're watching me live, please say hello, let me know where you're coming from, what you've been up to. I would also love it if you shared my video so that all your friends could join in on the fun later if they decide to as well. If you're new here, please, on my Facebook page, go ahead and hit that follow button so that you can get notifications whenever I go live. If you're watching the replay from my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Hi Diana, hi Sue, thanks so much for joining me today. So we have a really fun interactive card, and spoiler alert, if you're coming to Stamp Camp this week, this is the one of the cards that we'll be making. So if you don't want to see it, then go ahead and log off and I'll see you later this week. But if you do want to get a peek, then stick around and you'll see it. It looks more involved than it is, but it's really not that hard once you do it a couple times. Hi Roberta, thanks so much for joining me. So what else do I have? So I have a couple of announcements that we'll get into, but hi Leslie, thanks so much for joining me tonight. It's the last week of school here. Things are going to be getting crazy pretty soon. My son is super excited. He can't wait to start summer break, and it's going to be a good time, I think. Hi Kay, thanks so much. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. But yeah, so things are just real busy. You know, we're going to have a great summer, just kind of chill. Have lots of family coming. I don't know why Memorial Day is like the weekend everybody wants to come and visit. I guess it's to kind of kick off the start of summer, and it doesn't hurt that we live pretty close to Disney, so about an hour and a half or so away. So I think a lot of people want to come down for that summer Disney trip and see us and stay. So hi Diana, thanks so much for joining me from North Carolina. I bet the weather's beautiful up there. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get into a couple of little admin things, little announcements. Also, if you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, go ahead and head over to stampcampwithjen.com, and at the very bottom of any of the blog posts, you'll see a little snippet under the Shop With Me picture that says sign up for my newsletter. Click on that. Every Friday morning, I send out a newsletter that has lots of great information and any updates as far as like paper shares for new catalogs, when catalogs are shipping out, things like that. Oh, thank you so much, Roberta. I appreciate it. I try. I definitely appreciate that compliment. Thank you so much. But yeah, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my newsletter. Every Friday morning I send that out, and once a month I send out a free project tutorial that is just for my newsletter subscribers as well. So go ahead and head over and do that if you haven't already. So let me flip the camera around and I will go over my little announcements here. Sorry, I'm trying not to jostle you around too much. And then we'll get started on this fun project that's gonna be a wow for anybody. Pretty soon, over the next couple weeks, I'm still working on the projects, but I will be planning like some 3D projects that we're gonna do on here that are great, like gifts or craft fair type items if you guys like to sell at craft fairs. So be sure to tune in for those, and I'll always provide updates for those as well, like letting you know on Facebook if you guys are watching me from Facebook, so you'll know when those are coming. But over the next few weeks I've got those fun projects planned. So all right, so first things first, this awesome starter kit is going on right now. If you've ever thought about becoming a demonstrator, this is a really great opportunity to kind of dive into that world a little bit. You get an in-color starter kit. It has the designer series paper, a little cardstock pack. You get a grid paper pack that has the ink colors on it, and I believe the 5 ink pads. So yes, thank you. They remind me of my nails remind me of mermaid scales. That's kind of what I was going for, was like a beachy theme. So thank you. You should see my toes, Sue, when you come over. They're even more beachy, mermaidy type looking. Anyway, okay, so back to the In Color Starter Kit. So if you've ever thought about becoming a demonstrator, this is a really good opportunity to kind of explore that option. The starter kit is no obligation. You pay just $99 plus tax, but there's no shipping. Stampin' Up! Ships it to you for free, and you get to pick $125 worth of product and only pay the $99 plus tax. And then you also get the starter kit in addition to that $125 worth of products. So I'm always looking for new people to join my team. I always want to grow my team and get new friends. We have a great time. You don't have to be local to Summerfield to join my team, and you don't have to have a blog or a business or anything. You can just do it for the discount. That's what a lot of ladies do. And they do it to make friends, and we have a great time. We do a quarterly Zoom meeting where we all get together as much as each quarter, and we do like a fun mystery stamping event. And I always try to find little fun things to do together and try to get everybody, even the people that can't come in person, to meetings and things involved. So if you are interested in this or have any questions, please feel free to contact me. You can email me anytime at stampcampwithjen@gmail.com. I'd love to answer your questions. I'd love to have you on my team, so I really hope you'll consider this. So this is going on through May 31st. That's the very last day that you can sign up and get this. And again, it's no obligation. So if you sign up and you do it for a month or two and decide, it's not really what I want to do, you can drop and say you don't want to be a demonstrator anymore. There's no penalty, no fee, nothing. It's no obligation, which is really great. So it's a good thing to think about if you're interested in it. Oh, thank you so much, Diana. That's such a sweet compliment. I appreciate that. Let's see what else. Oh, and this is, if you're curious, these are the items that come in that starter kit. So it's that ink pad collection, this grid paper, the little cardstock pack, and the designer series paper. So this is a $66.50 bundle that you're getting for free on top of those items. So just something to kind of think about. And then the other thing I have is May host code. So if you shop with me in May, please use my host code and I will send you a free gift. I used to do it where I would pick a certain gift and I would send it, and I do it at the end of the month. I don't do that anymore. Now I just I have a stash of free stuff, and it's all brand new, unopened Stampin' Up! Items, and after you place your order, I mail it to you, so you don't have to wait until the end of the month and you go, what am I getting this for? I mail it right to you right after you place your order, and then that way you can kind of play with your free gift sooner and you don't have to wait for it and forget why you're getting it. So I just thought that was better than kind of making everybody wait. All right, so that's all I have for now. I do have some exciting things in the newsletter this week, but I don't want to talk about it just yet. So be on the lookout for the newsletter this Friday. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'll talk more. I don't want to be so vague, but I just want to give you a heads up and make sure that you look out for it. And then next week on Monday, I'll talk more about what's in the newsletter. So, oh, good, Sue. I'm glad you like being surprised. I like surprises too. Surprises are always good. All right, so let me get my little kit here. Jostle everything around. I'll show you real quick what we're going to make. This one, I was so happy when I made this one. The colors make me really happy. So this is called a wiper card. That little ladybug pops up out of the background there. And I just love it. I love the colors. This uses that Hues of Happiness designer series paper that just came out that's wildly popular. I didn't check beforehand, but I think the other day when I was looking at it, it's low inventory. So if this is paper that you're interested in, I would highly recommend getting that soon, because it might go on back order. Let me see if I can find it in the catalog real quick and show you. I'm sure most of you know what it is because it is so pretty. It's on page 132. I love that I can show you the inside of this catalog now. So So if you look in your annual catalog on page 132, this is that paper pack that we're using. It's so pretty. I love all the colors and everything that go with it. This is the paper that we're using. Yes, there are many things that could pop out. I just use the Ladybug because I think it's good for spring and summertime, and I really liked the colors. And I like this sentiment because it can really be anything. It could be birthday, obviously, but it could be like somebody getting ready for a job, or I don't know, like just going on a new adventure and you're wishing them well. There's just a lot of great things that you could really use this for. And then on the back, I put a little white piece there so you could write your message on the back there. Oh, thank you so much, Sue. I was pretty impressed with it, but not to toot my own horn or anything. I liked it. Okay, so let me show you how to make it. It is really not that bad. It may look a little intimidating, but it's once we go through it step by step. And when I post the PDF that's on the blog post, it has pictures and a lot of the steps too. So you can print that out and look at the pictures as you're trying to make it. So, all right, so I have my little kit here that's all kind of pre-cut. And mine is Pool Party instead of the Melon Mambo, because since I'm making this for class, I obviously don't have enough for everybody to have the same colors, but that's okay. So this bottom panel here, this is Granny Apple Green. So we're gonna fold, you have 2 score lines here, and they are, again, all the measurements will be on the blog post. I'm not gonna sit here and list them all out right now because there's kind of a lot of measurements. But so this bottom panel here, you want to fold that first score line backwards and then bring the back score line up. So it kind of looks like this. That's how that bottom piece is going to look, okay? And then the Pool Party, you're going to do the same thing, but the score lines are on the right side instead of the left side. And actually you're going to fold the first score line, you're going to fold it in. And then the second score line you're going to fold to the edge there, okay? And we'll use our bone folder. Bone folders are wonderful. Getting those creases. Okay. All right, so this is actually, as you can see from the sample, maybe you can see, yep. This is going to be on the left-hand side, and those folds are going to be on the right-hand side, and it's going to end up being adhered like that. Okay, let me move that out of the way so you guys have more room here. I just want to make sure you can see everything. Okay, now our little flower pattern on the bottom here. So I actually am a little silly when it comes to my patterns being directional. I want them all to flow in one direction. So let's see if I can line this up. Oh, this might be backwards, that's why, yep. So if you're like me and you like your pattern to all flow when it is cut out, then you're gonna cut a big strip, which this is listed in the PDF tutorial as well, but basically you cut a big strip and then you cut these sections off on the left-hand side. And you do the same thing with the background here. I'll show you real quick. I have this background here, that DSP, and then, yeah, this goes this way. So again, I just had a big strip and I cut off, these are both 1 1/4 inch wide, so I cut off 1 1/4 inch sections. And that's all you have to do when you cut up your DSP like that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just use some seal or glue, whatever you're comfortable with, and see, there's the back side of it. It's that brushed pattern right there. You could really use either side. I just like the flowers with the ladybugs, the kind of nature theme. So, and I just like to leave my panels, my DSP on top of the panel so that I know where each part is going to go when I adhere it down, so I don't lose it or misplace it, and I can keep that pattern flowing like I want it to. I keep wondering if my mom's going to pop in. I always tease her because she always forgets. I'm going to call you out, Mom. I love you so much, but you always forget about my Facebook Live, and then it'll be over and she'll call me and she'll go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about your Facebook Live. And I tell her, Mom, it's been the same time for the last like 6 months, 9 months. That's all right. I love her. She's got lots of things going on. Oh, look at that. That would be pretty too. I considered using the bigger flower as the background, but I was worried when the ladybug popped up, it would get kind of lost in this busy pattern. Trust me, I did think about that, but I think when you put the ladybug, when he pops up, you really just won't be able to see it, but it's such a pretty, pretty piece of paper. I love it. It almost makes me sad to put that on the back. Have to set my alarm so you remember. Oh, I don't wonder why it doesn't notify you on Facebook. You forget to. Oh yeah, Sue is good about that. She is here every week. That's my girl. One of my many girls. I'm her second best friend, I think she says. We're basically the same person, I think, sometimes. It's scary, the things that we think about, we come up with at the same time. It's pretty funny. Well, I appreciate, Diana, that you set an alarm so that you don't miss me. I really like that. That makes me happy. Because I like it when you guys come here and join me every Monday. It's funny because my husband and my son almost always forget too. They're like, oh, it's Monday, that's right, you have Facebook Live. It's like it happens every week, but I think because it's Monday after the weekend, it's just everybody's, you know, adjusting, getting back into their schedules kind of thing. So, okay, so we put our DSP panels, and as you can see, the pattern flows nicely. It all matches up, which makes me happy. So now what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna flip this over, and I'm gonna put a couple pieces of tear and tape that are wide enough for this panel, and I'm just gonna adhere it to this little section right here, okay? And in the pictures in my PDF, I only use 2. You could use 2 or 3 strips of tear and tape, it doesn't matter. Why is Siri on? Okay. So if you line it up like I did, you can kind of use that score line as your guide for how wide you need to make it. So I'm actually going to use 3, I think, this time, just to really make sure it's nice and flat and stuck on there. And then where did my, oh, here it is. I like to use my, oops, dropping stuff, my bone folder. So anytime we use tear and tape, I like to take my bone folder and just kind of rub it to make sure that tear and tape is nice and flat and really stuck onto my paper. And then I like to take the spatula end of my Take Your Pick tool, and that is an easy way to get that tear and tape backing off of there. I always struggled with that beforehand, and once I learned that trick, I always do it. It makes it so much easier. Okay, so again, now we're gonna flip this over, and we're just gonna line this up so the bottom and the right-hand side are all flush with each other, those bottom corners. Okay, so you with me so far? This is what we got, okay? Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Sylvia. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna open this up, okay? And I have another little piece. I knew these were gonna get lost though, so that's why I put them in a little baggie here. So this little piece is actually the little mechanism that the ladybug is gonna attach to, okay? So what we wanna do with this guy is we're gonna take this top right-hand corner and we're gonna fold it in so that this side is lined up with here, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm just gonna kind of use my nail up in this corner here to help bend it since it's not scored. And you're just gonna make it so it is flush like that. You see what I mean? So top corner down to that left edge there, okay? Oh, she's here, Mom, Janine Nuttall, that's my mom. Mom, I called you out earlier. I was wondering if you were gonna join me. Oh, but you're here, welcome. Okay, so now I always have to remember how to do this, even though I just made the tutorial. Okay, so this is the only tricky part with this, okay? So you're gonna take your little mechanism here, and I'll try to hold it up here so you can see. So you have this little panel and then this middle panel. You're with Barb. Barb is another one of our stamping friends. It's her neighbor across the street. Okay, so now with this little triangle here, you want it to be in this panel and just inside that little score line, okay? And in my tutorial, I put a little bit of glue, but that can be kind of messy. So I think I'm actually gonna use glue dots this time, because the thing with glue is if once you like smush it down and some of that glue comes out, you really wanna make sure to clean up any glue that might ooze out, because otherwise when you fold this piece down, it might get stuck on the panel and then the ladybug won't pop up like it's supposed to, if that makes sense. Okay, what did I just do with my glue dots? I had a whole bunch of them out here. Oh, here we go. I have this little carousel thing, but it's so full of stuff that now I can't find things. All right, so on this little triangle here, I'm just gonna put a few glue dots. And again, try to keep it on that triangle, not go over the triangle. I'm gonna put probably about 3 glue dots. 2 and 3. Ooh. Okay, so as you can see, I have 3 glue dots here, and then putting it in that center panel and making sure that it's not quite up to the edge here, because this piece, actually I'll fold it so you can see, this piece is just a smidge smaller on the top and the bottom so that it has room to kind of wiggle around. Oh, thank you. That's my second compliment on my nails. Thank you so much. All right, and then like I said, when you have this little triangle folded, you want to make sure it's inside where that crease meets, okay? And then, so just like that, we have a little smidge extra, and that little crease, the little fold, is just inside that score line, okay? So now, I'm gonna fold that triangle over and press it down, get it nice and adhered. Use your bone folder if you want to. This is all gonna be on the inside, you're not gonna see it, but it is important because it is the mechanism that holds the ladybug, okay? So, speaking of the ladybug, let's make the ladybug. That might be a little helpful, right? So, we've got our handy dandy ladybug punch. And then I have a scrap of black, hopefully that's big enough. And then what I am doing for the wings is I am using a piece that is color coordinating with this bigger cardstock piece, which like I said, I'm using Pool Party. So I have a scrap of Pool Party there that I'm using. And then I am just gonna take, now, one thing you wanna note when you use this punch, so as you can see, the wings are kind of sideways. So I'm gonna stamp this way because when the paper goes in, that's how it's gonna go in my punch, right? So you don't wanna waste a lot of paper or get frustrated because you gotta put it in kind of funky. So, gonna punch. We're just gonna do the ladybug spots for the wings in Tuxedo Black Memento ink, right there. And then we're gonna put these little wings, we're gonna line those up. I love this punch so much. These little, I don't know, ladybugs are just fun. And they're perfect for spring and summer. I just love them. Okay, and then for the black, we're just going to, see, I was just talking about not getting frustrated. Oh, there we go. And just cut a body, just like that. Okay. Now, I do want to note, and I had this issue, and I actually had to get a replacement punch. So if you punch any of your Ladybug pieces and you notice that they're not punching cleanly, call Stampin' Up! And they will send you a replacement punch. That happens sometimes, especially when you have punches that have like more fine details and things like that. But Stampin' Up! Stands behind their products. So if you have a punch that's not punching correctly, Stampin' Up!, in my experience, they have always replaced it with, they'll either replace it if it's still current, or they will give you, if it's not current, they usually will give you a coupon in the amount that you paid for that the punch was originally worth. So if it was originally worth $22, then you should get a coupon for $22 to compensate you for that if it's retired. And if they don't and you have issues, email me or call me and I will help you. Trust me, I have no problem with that. I want to make sure that you're happy, and Stampin' Up! I know wants to make sure that you're happy and that they stand behind their products as well. So, but once I got my new punch, it works great, and I love making these little ladybugs. Oops. Trying to get this lined up. As you saw, I just applied a little bit of glue, and then I'm just trying to wipe off the excess glue. And I'm going to use my little, if you don't have one of these are a great tool you can get at a local craft store. It's an adhesive eraser. So basically, once your adhesive dries, if you notice like any excess, you just rub it over the paper and you'll see it kind of gum up and pull away from the paper, and then you don't have that gunk, I guess is the best way to describe it, on your paper. And see, I just made it worse. And if it gets kind of dirty looking like that, it might just be that a bunch of it has built up on the corner. So you just find another little corner to kind of peel away that adhesive. Man, I have a lot of it on here. I can really see it. And it will eventually come off. It just takes a minute for it to grab it and pull it. And I can see a lot of it actually. But that's the best way to get that gunk off of your paper so it doesn't look messy. See? And that's just like new. And then all of this yucky gray stuff, that's just the glue stuff that you pulled off of your paper. And all you do is you just take your fingers and you pinch it and pull it off. And like I said, you can get these, I think, on Amazon, your local craft store. It's just called an adhesive remover. And I love it. I've had this forever. I use it all the time. Oh, they have them at the Dollar Tree? I wonder. Oh, thanks, Sue. I try to help you guys. Okay, so now we have our little ladybug in the coordinating pool party. Okay, so let's put this baby together. We are going to grab our little panel back again. So we have our little mechanism like I showed you. Now, we're going to take another glue dot. So I have a little window sheet. This is 1/2 inch by 2 inches wide. And we're going to put a glue dot on one end. Okay. Now, when you put this on, you want to put the window sheet so that the corner, so that the whole thing is on your mechanism, but I like to line the corner up right along where that crease is and make sure it's straight as best you can. Just like that. Oh, stick in there. There we go. So it's just like that. So it's inside on the little mechanism inside this score line, okay? Now, we're gonna take another glue dot, if I can find it. These things are hard to see sometimes. There we go. So now I'm gonna take this other glue dot and I'm gonna put it on the top of my window sheet right there, okay? So we have one on the bottom and now we have one on the top on the right hand side, okay? Now our ladybug, so this girl, guy, whatever, when you adhere it down, I'm gonna adhere it so it's pointing up and to the right. And it can go outside of this panel a little bit, but the big thing is you want to make sure it stays in between the top and the bottom of the Granny Apple Green panel, okay? and you're just gonna adhere that right to that window sheet, just like that, okay? You with me? Just like that. So laying it down, like you can see, mine kind of comes out a little bit to the right, and that's okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip him up, and I'm gonna kind of place this over here. And now I'm just gonna play with it just to test it out just a little bit, okay? So when we have it held together, it'll close, and then it pops open. Ideally, pops open. Why is mine sticking? Oh, I think I have a little bit of glue on the back there. There we go. And there you go. Isn't that so cool? Oh, so much fun. Now he looks like he's in the clouds. Okay. So now what we need to do is we're going to put tear and tape on this little panel right here. I hope you guys give this one a try afterwards. It is, like I said, it seems a little complicated, but once you watch the video, and I tried to make a picture tutorial so that would make it a little bit easier too, because I know a lot of you guys like to print out the tutorial, and it is hard sometimes to kind of watch and write the instructions down. So I tried to make it as user-friendly as I could, and hopefully you'll give it a try, because these are really wow cards. I think especially for like little kids, these would be so cute, like a little girl or little boy, just to have that wow factor for them. I think they would love it. All right, so now again, we're just gonna take this panel and line up the left and the bottom edge. Press that down. Oh, this makes me so happy. And he pops up. Yep, Shazam, Mom, that's right. All right, so now we got to put our little message on here, okay? So this tag is from the, where did I put it? The Sweethearts dies. This is in the January through June 2022 mini catalog. So that catalog, those products are going through June 30th. So if you like this, you can get it through the end of June. If you don't have this tag, or you don't want to buy it for whatever reason, let me measure it real quick. You just get something that's about 1.5, like a 1.5 inch square, basically. Okay, so now we're gonna get the sentiment, may your greatest wish come true. I love it. Could be a wedding card. Roberta, that's a good idea. See, you guys, if you guys do make a version of this, I would love it if you shared it on my Facebook page and shared it with everybody else so they can see all the great ideas that you guys come up with. So everybody, we can share that inspiration. So I'm just gonna stamp this right in the center. May your greatest wish come true. And then we're gonna use another one of my favorites, the black and white gingham ribbon. I love this stuff so much. It's so cute. Anything gingham, this is good like at Christmas time, summertime, anytime. Gingham and plaid, I think, are some of my favorites. So I'm gonna try not to make it too big because this little tag isn't very big. But yeah, so if you guys try this card and you make a version of it, or even if you make the same one, I would love it if you put a picture of it on my Facebook page, the Stamp Camp with Jen Facebook page, so that you could share the creativity, because I know I would love to see it. I'm sure everybody else would love to see it as well. Okay. So now another glue dot. These glue dots are getting a workout today, boy. Just put a glue dot on the back of our bow. And then I'm actually just gonna put it where that little tag hole is. And that's the center, just like that. And then the last thing we need to do is just put this on real quick with some dimensionals. Now, since this is going over where these two panels meet, and there's going to be a little opening right there. We don't want a dimensional on that section. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take it like it's on the card and flip it towards me. And then we're going to put 2 dimensionals on the bottom and 1 dimensional on the top right hand side that's pointed towards me. My perfect bows. I don't know if they're perfect, Roberta, but thank you. All I do is I just tie a bow like I'm tying a shoe, if that makes sense. That's all I do, honestly. But see, since we had those 3 dimensionals right there, now there's nothing behind it that could get stuck. And that's our card. Ta-da! It just makes me so happy. Like my Minnie Mouse on my Apple Watch. Have you guys seen this yet? Listen, listen.
It's 7:37.
And sometimes she says, good evening, or she laughs or whatever. I seriously have had this thing for a couple months now, and I giggle every time I hear it. My husband says, is that ever going to get old? And I said, probably not. But this makes me happy, just like Minnie Mouse. Isn't that so much fun? You'll just sit here and play with it all day. Yes, Isla would love it. I can't wait to show it to her. I haven't showed it to her yet. My granddaughter, yes, you heard that right. My granddaughter, Isla, she would love it. All right, guys. Well, like I said, and before we forget, we got to put the white on the background here. Sorry, not quite done. I thought I was done. This is just for the message so that you can write something to the recipient. Real quick. Can't leave that off. It's so funny because my friend Carol, sometimes when I make cards for Stamp Camp, I don't put the liners in. And she calls me out every time. She's like, Jen, where are your card liners? I'm like, oh, oops. Sometimes I forget them, and she never misses a beat. She always says something about it. Okay, look at these beauties. It's a beaut. It's a beaut, Clark. All right, guys. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed today's card video. Let's see if I can get them both to pop out. Ooh. If you did, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. If you need any of the supplies for any of these products, please shop with me, Jennifer Roque, in the Stampin' Up! Or at stampinup.com. Again, like I said, this little tag from the Sweetheart dies is in the mini catalog, and that'll be available through June 30th of this year. So don't forget that mini catalog is still available, but it's only available through June 30th. So I am so glad you guys like this card. Like I said, I had a blast making it, and it just makes me laugh. It makes me smile. And if you do attempt to make it, please share your picture on the Stamp Camp with Jen group page. I would love it. I would love to see it. I always love seeing your creations. So, all right, guys. Well, again, don't forget, look in the newsletter on Friday for some important surprise announcements. And until next time, be safe and happy stamping. Bye-bye.